So, good evening, Unai Emery style, baby. And we're going to speak about Houssem Aouar. Shock. I feel like he is my second specialist subject after Mesut Ozil. But we are going to speak about him and whether Arsenal actually wanted him. I'm going to go through what French football have put out there. Obviously, I can't read French or Francais. I can't read French. So there is a Twitter account out there that has kind of translated it the best they could. I'm going to go through that in a minute. Before I do that, thank you very much for all the love and support on the channel recently. I do appreciate it. You guys are mad. Every single day, the love, the dedication, the way you go in your droves to support me, it is mental. So make sure you stick a thumbs up on the video because that is support. Make sure you subscribe, again, support. If you would like to be involved and have the chance to win a signed and framed Thierry Henry shirt, download Flick, again, supporting me. Go to the chat, Thierry Henry chat, and make sure with the character in the right of that chat, you click on it and put 2 emotes in the chat. That way you're qualified, you're in the draw. The winner of that, one lucky winner will be picked randomly after the Manchester City game at the weekend, Saturday evening. And that will be winging its way to somebody on Monday morning, first class delivery. Also, I will be streaming the game on HOTMIC. Now, do download HOTMIC. There is a t-shirt giveaway, a football shirt of your choice. Doesn't matter whether you started following me on that when I first got that app or whether you follow me before the end of the month, but a football shirt of your choice with any name and number on the back of it. So download HOTMIC again for free. The advantage to doing that is you can sync up your stream, your TV, to my stream on match days. So we're simultaneously streaming, which is kind of cool. But, oh, also Insta, League Gunner 82. Now, let's move on. ZRAFC have translated Nabil Gelit, a guy on Twitter, a journaliste for France Football. He's got a lot of followers. Wow, fair play to the lad. But he has translated an article he has put out there in the French press this evening, which has gone viral. Arteta spoke to Houssem Aouar and convinced him to join Arsenal. Arsenal's initial offer was rejected, and Edu said he would speak to the Cronkies and return with a larger offer. In reality, he mostly played the watch. I think that means he mostly just watched from afar, didn't go back. It ended up explaining to the player's entourage, i.e. his agent, that he had not yet contacted Cronky Sport and Entertainment for reasons of jet lag. Between Edu and Arteta, the will to recruit the number 8 from Lyon was perhaps not exactly the same. Perhaps a little rift there. I'll come to that in a second. It then continues on. Arsenal and Lyon never actually entered into direct negotiations. Lyon were expecting a slightly higher offer before entering into discussions. It never came. Well, we knew that anyway. We knew that Arsenal were about £12 million short or €12 million short, including add-ons. That never came. A fortnight before the end of the Mercato, I'm assuming that means window, Arsenal, in fact, abruptly cut off the contact with Lyon. Now, this is where it gets juicy. I'll get you a straw. But Arteta and Edu appear to have not been on the same page over this deal. And Edu, the fact that this story is broken, whether you believe it or not, whether you think there's any truth to it or not, I don't know. That's up to you to decide. I see it from both sides. Listen, I know for a fact by having Fabrizio Romano on the channel, Arsenal wanted Aouar. Arteta wanted Aouar. The Arsenal board were in love with Aouar, according to Fabrizio. And listen, I don't know this journalist from Adam. So I'd be more inclined to go down the route of believing the guy that came on the channel, the guy that's involved, the guy that has direct links to all of these clubs, blah, blah, blah. But this is where there's a discrepancy because Edu, for jet lag, didn't speak to Conky Sport and Entertainment. Like, where have you... I don't know why my mic muted itself, but what have you been doing, bruv? Like, why were you so jet lagged you couldn't go, yo, Stan, what are you saying, bruv? But the one thing this does show is the fact that Stan is involved, and he is directly involved with Edu and with Arteta and with the board in terms of discussing and going over the finer details of players and finances for them players. Because if Edu had full control of that, I know Arteta gets an input now, he's manager. I feel like he had an input anyway, regardless. Head coach, manager, same difference, bruv. But for me, the biggest factor out of this is not that we didn't sign Aouar, the fact that Kroenke's so heavily involved, the fact that he did have to relay that via telephone to Kroenke and go, yo, we want to go after this guy. Can we do this? Can we do that? I like that. I feel like that's a good thing going forward, because we've seen a lot of stories about Stan Kroenke and Josh Kroenke, etc., etc. I'm not twerking for them before people say I am. I've never really, in the last couple of years, like before I found out the full ins and outs and actually engaged my brain instead of just jumping on a hype, I used to be, get him out, get him out, get him out. Then when you actually look at how much we've spent and where it's gone and how we've spent it, and you look at the other side of it, you look at the accounts, you see how much money we've got, how much our wage bill is in comparison to other teams. I'm not necessarily bouncing for Kroenke out. The one thing I will say here is that the fact that Edu had to relay that to Kroenke kind of shows that Kroenke is now involved. And let's be real here. Kroenke has owned fully 100% of this football club for about, what, 18 months, nearly 2 years? In that time, I think we've got the second highest net spend in the Premier League. We've also, I think, got the fourth highest gross spend. It's one or the other. It's either way. We've either got the fourth highest gross and the second highest net, or vice versa. But we're languishing down the bottom of the 20 Premier League teams on actual sales out of the football club. And I think that's where we need to be better. And I've said this for a long time now, maybe 2.5, 3 years. It's not necessarily what we're spending, it's how we're spending it. The fact that we didn't sign Aouar, for me, I do think he was our number one target. Arteta is not dumb. Yeah. Arteta wanted him at Man City. Pep wanted him at Man City. They've been tracking the guy at Man City. Arteta wanted him. Edu maybe didn't. Edu used to play, I wouldn't say he was an out-and-out DM, but he knows that role. He knows how to play that role. And I think Thomas Partey, obviously, in the end, was the guy that won the race. And I'm more happy about that than I would have been with Aouar, because I feel like we can create anyway if we set up the right formation with the right personnel. And Thomas Partey slotting into there gives us more options. And I do feel when we've got to transition the opposite way towards our goal, Thomas Partey is a better asset to Arsenal Football Club than Houssem Aouar would have been. But is there a rift? I'm not so sure. It does look like Edu and Arteta are happy together. The one thing for me that comes out of this whole story, whether it's true or not about jet lag, I'm not so sure about that. But the one thing I will say is it does show Kroenke is involved. Now, that can go one or two ways. Like I said, since he's been full owner, we've spent a lot of money. And we've spent it wrongly with Raul. We've spent it out on Pepe. That's still hit and miss with a lot of our fans. And I just think, like, maybe, just maybe now, Stan Kroenke is going to go, yo, I've got a young coach or manager. Let's give him some backing. And hopefully we see the best of that. Listen, if you look at his other clubs, people keep banging on about how much Stan Kroenke's worth. His net worth is not any relevance to Arsenal Football Club. It's what Arsenal Football Club's income is as an annual income. That's what we should be looking at. That's not what we should be looking at is net worth of £8 billion. That's irrelevant, because unless he's pouring 2 billion of that into the club, why are we talking about his net worth? We should be looking at the gross and net income of Arsenal Football Club and where we're spending it and how we're spending it. And until we do that, and until we eradicate all these errors that we've made over the last decade or so in terms of Kolasinac, 160 grand a week, Mesut Ozil, 350 a week, Mustafi, 35 million, 100 grand a week. That's a 50 million cock up, by the way. Same with Granit Xhaka. We've made a lot of mistakes with the money that we use. And until we eradicate that, we're never going to move forward. Is Stan the bad guy? Leave it in the comment section. Was Edu jet lagged, more importantly? I don't think so. I just don't think he wanted Aouar that much. I think he wanted Thomas Partey more than Aouar. But leave it all in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts and comments on that. Don't forget, thumbs up, support, subscribe, support, download the apps, that support. Use my code if you download HOTMIC. That helps. Thank you very much. And follow me on Instagram. Appreciate everybody who does. Come on, nearly 50K on here. We're not even on 15K on Instagram. So make sure you do go and follow me on that app. Make sure you follow my Facebook page. I'm plugging everything right now. Twitch as well. I'm out of here. Laters, peeps.